When I'm working with clients, I help them learn how to document all the events because that's very important in this journey. You want to be able to have almost like a binder of everything that you're keeping track of. And it's not possible to keep track of everything. So it's most important just to keep track of the most important things, the things that stand out the most, because so many different harassment techniques are utilized that it's impossible to keep track of it. You'll put yourself into a state of anxiety trying to keep track of everything. You don't want to add more stress to the situation. So I tell everybody that I work with to write it down. I show people how to write proper notes, similar to the way that a psych nurse writes notes, because it could almost be considered like a legal document. And that way, if you're talking to first responders or if you end up in a courtroom, you'll have an organized set of documents to show them. Because when a person attempts to verbalize the things that they're going through secondary to these campaigns, they sound like they're out of touch with reality. So the campaigns are designed to make the person sound that way. I call it force-fed psychosis because either the targeted individual, I should say, either they're going to become psychotic secondary to the effects of the harassment, either by becoming angry or by becoming paranoid, or they're going to sound like they're living with psychosis when they try to describe what's happening. And most of the time, when a person is describing what's happening, even if they're in a calm state when they start to describe the event, usually the feedback they get is, "Are you sure?" And a lot of questioning and lots of invalidation. So naturally, the person's going to become upset and emotional, and then they'll say, "Oh, the person's psychotic." So it's force-fed psychosis, no matter how you look at it. And some of these campaigns, they escalate into actual campaigns to harass the person into homelessness. I'm writing a book about that. It's going to be available on August 1st. But that's what I tell everybody. So if you're experiencing the effects of gang stalking, it's not a dystopian situation. Some of these YouTubers, they want everybody to think, oh, this is a network, you'll never escape. That's not true. If you start living as if you're a public official and you have to hide from the paparazzi, you'll be able to circumvent these problems. No doubt there's a network, but there's always ways to protect yourself. So it's not the end of the world. It's not something you're going to have to live with forever. I tell people that it's kind of like having cancer. It's just unpleasant. It's a lot of uncertainty. The treatment can be very challenging, but it's a health condition and you can work through it. So you have to write everything down and schedule with me. I have coaching sessions available outside of New York State. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner in New York State, so I'm unable to do coaching in New York, but I can in the other states within the US. So if you're a New York resident, you can schedule with me for an NP appointment and stay safe and write everything down. Paper and pen is the pathway to freedom.